So your appraisal comes in low, what now? There are 5 options when this occurs, and I've worked a lot of sellers through these different options, and it's always good to have a mutual good outcome. So despite the interest rates rising in this market today, and the buyer pool has potentially shrunk, it's still a great time to sell. You have to remember that the prices across the country, and also here in Philadelphia, have gone up anywhere from 15 on the low side to 40% on the high side over the course of the last 2 years. So even if there is a slight adjustment in sellers' pricing, it's still gonna be a great thing to get your home sold in this current market. So let's get to the 5 options of what you have when your appraisal comes in low. Option number 1 is to really look at the experience of the agent that you're working with and to make sure that you've priced the home correctly and to really reevaluate those comps to say, hey, did we come out of the gate a little bit too high? Where are we according? And every 21 days the market shifts, so you have to kind of continually reevaluate if the market is slightly adjusting in a downward motion. After you've done that, option 2 would be to go to the lender and the appraiser and to say, hey, what comps did you really use? Let's look at the appraisal itself and kind of scrutinize the appraisal report, and then partner up with the other agent on the buyer side. If you're the listing agent, partner up with the buyer's agent and say, hey, let's go together, let's look at the comps for the neighborhood, and maybe we find something or be able to point something out to that appraiser that they did not use, and it could bump up that value. That has worked successfully in the past for me along the way, as well as members of my team. Option number 3 would be go to the buyer and say, hey, would you be willing to help close this gap or cover the gap? A lot of buyers in this market have been able to do that. They haven't been able to find the houses that they want, so they're willing and capable of doing that. If that doesn't work, option 4 is where we go to the seller and say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, this is our only offer that we've had. Would you be willing to adjust the price accordingly to match that appraisal? That can work as well if you have a motivated seller that recognizes the market has changed. And the 5th and final option, which is not the greatest, but it's an option, is to say, hey, we can't come to a meeting of the minds. The buyer and seller just can't make it work. The agents have tried, the appraisal has stood its ground, and they're not adjusting it. Then we terminate and we go back on the market and we readjust the price and we get a new buyer. So again, there's always options, there's always an exit strategy, not to panic. And we're here to help you. If you're considering selling or buying in the near future, my team would love to help you. If you're interested about the value of your own home, I do market analysis for folks all the time. And if you're considering a real estate career, my team is growing here in the local Philadelphia area as well as nationwide. So I'd love to talk to you about that as well. Thanks again for watching. Take care.